Sometimes you don't get closure, no explanations, no apologies, no grand ending. You just reach a point where the pain becomes familiar and you're tired of carrying it. So you leave, quietly, naturally, not to run away from life, but to finally return to yourself. Walking away isn't weakness. It isn't giving up. It isn't quitting too soon. Walking away is choosing yourself. And that is one of the hardest things a human being can learn to do. Most of us stay in situations long after our spirit has already left. Jobs that drain us, relationships that diminish us, conversations that go nowhere, habits that make us feel small. We stay because we keep hoping something will change. We stay because we fear starting over. We stay because familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace. If something is costing you your peace, it is already too expensive. There comes a moment, different for every person, when you realize you cannot continue the way you have been. A quiet realization, a silent shift, a calm clarity that feels less like an explosion and more like an exhale. You are done trying to force what is not meant to stay. You are done shrinking to fit. You are done apologizing for wanting peace. This realization is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is not angry. It is still, clear, steady. It is the moment you stop chasing and begin choosing. People will misunderstand you when you walk away. They may call you selfish, cold, indifferent. They may accuse you of not trying hard enough. They may ask why you didn't stay and make it work. But no one else lives inside your mind. No one else feels the weight you've been carrying. No one else knows the conversations you've had with yourself in the dark. No one else knows the cost of staying. There are women who have stayed loyal to things that were breaking them. There are men who have carried burdens they never spoke about. There are people who look strong because they have learned how to suffer silently. But suffering is not strength. Strength is knowing when enough is enough. Strength is choosing peace over approval. Strength is choosing growth over familiarity. Strength is choosing your future self over your past attachments. Walking away is not abandoning others. It is finally refusing to abandon yourself. You don't heal by holding on. You heal by letting go. Letting go of what hurt you. Letting go of what held you back. Letting go of the version of you that tolerated too much. Walking away is the moment you say, "My peace matters more than their comfort." And when you make that decision, truly make it, something powerful happens. Your world shifts. Your breathing becomes easier. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart stops clenching. Because for the first time in a long time, you came back to yourself. Why walking away is one of the strongest decisions you can make. Most people believe strength looks loud. They picture raised voices, hard stances, arguments won, points proven. But the strongest moments in life are often the quiet ones, the ones with no audience and no applause. Walking away requires a kind of strength that doesn't boast. It requires self-respect. It requires clarity. It requires courage. Anyone can stay in what is familiar. Anyone can hold on to what is hurting them. Anyone can cling to what is fading. That's easy, because it doesn't require growth. But to walk away, to step into the unknown, to choose the discomfort of growth over the comfort of pain, that is something only the strong can do. You see, staying in a situation that diminishes you slowly teaches you to live smaller. Your voice becomes quieter. Your confidence thins. Your energy dulls. And you begin to mistake survival for loyalty. Strength is not how tightly you can hold on. Strength is how gracefully you can let go. We often think walking away means we have failed. But staying in something that is slowly destroying your spirit, that is the real failure. Walking away is not a sign you are done caring. It is a sign you are done sacrificing yourself. There are people who will only understand your value when they lose access to you. There are environments that will only reveal their harm when you step outside them. There are habits you will only recognize as heavy once you stop carrying them. Distance gives perspective. Space allows truth to breathe. When you walk away, you allow your life to reset. You give your mind room to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. You reconnect with your inner voice, the one that always knew the way, even when you ignored it. Walking away is not about turning your back on others, it's about turning toward yourself. The world teaches you to be loyal, to jobs, to relationships, to expectations. But almost no one teaches you to be loyal to your well-being. If something consistently costs you your peace, your self-worth, your joy, you owe it to yourself to walk away. Not just because you deserve better, but because your purpose is bigger. Some chapters require closure, others simply require courage. The moment you choose peace over proving yourself, you begin to reclaim your life. You will notice something remarkable. When you walk away from what drains you, your energy returns. Your creativity resurfaces. Your confidence begins to rebuild itself. Your mind becomes quiet again. You begin to feel like yourself again. Not the version shaped by pressure, not the version shaped by pleasing others, not the version shaped by fear, but the version of you that is steady, clear, whole. Walking away is an act of coming home, back to your own center, back to your own truth, back to your own life, and that is one of the strongest decisions any human being can make. How to recognize when something no longer serves your growth. One of the hardest things in life is recognizing when something has reached its end. Not because endings are complicated, but because we grow attached to what we've known. We stay because we remember how it used to feel. We stay because we hope it might return to what it once was. But growth has a rhythm, and part of that rhythm is learning to notice when the season has changed. So how can you tell when something is no longer helping you grow? The signs are subtle at first, quiet, easy to ignore. You start feeling tired in situations where you used to feel energized. Conversations that once inspired you now drain you. You find yourself justifying, explaining, rationalizing, not to others, but to yourself. Your mind says, maybe it's just a phase. Your heart whispers, something's not right. You begin to feel like you're shrinking in order to stay. You may even feel guilt for thinking of leaving, as though choosing peace is selfish. But peace is not selfish. Peace is necessary. Here are truths we are not taught growing up. You are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to outgrow places. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself. Outgrowing something doesn't mean it was bad. It simply means you have learned what it came to teach you. Growth doesn't always look like gaining. Sometimes growth looks like releasing. When something no longer serves your growth, you will feel it in 3 places. 1. Your mind. You will think about it constantly, but the thoughts go in circles. No solutions, no progress, just noise. Your mind isn't confused. It is trying to get your attention. 2. Your body. The body speaks before the voice does. Restlessness, tightness in the chest, tension in the shoulders. Your body carries the weight of what your spirit has not yet put down. 3. Your heart. Your heart keeps sending quiet messages. You feel disconnected. You feel heavy. You feel tired in a way sleep does not fix. These are not signs of weakness. They are signals. Signals that something inside you is ready to expand but your environment is not allowing it. The trouble is, familiarity is warm. Even when it's slowly suffocating you, it feels safe because you know its edges. You know how to function in it. You know how to explain it to yourself. But familiarity can be a cage with the door wide open. You do not stay because you cannot leave. You stay because leaving means confronting who you are without this story attached. Growth asks you to step into the unknown, to trust yourself more than your comfort. The question that reveals everything: does this thing I am holding on to help me rise, or does it require me to lower myself to remain? If the cost of staying is your peace, your joy, your confidence, your self-respect, then staying is far more expensive than leaving. You don't walk away because you're finished. You walk away because your potential is calling. And you cannot answer that call while gripping what is already behind you. Not every door closes loudly. Some simply stop leading forward. The difference between giving up and letting go. There is a misunderstanding many people carry. They believe that walking away means giving up. They believe that letting go means quitting. They believe that choosing peace means weakness. But that is only because they have never experienced the weight of holding on to something that is slowly hurting them. Giving up is when you stop because something is difficult. Letting go is when you stop because something is destructive. Giving up is rooted in fear. Letting go is rooted in wisdom. Giving up says, I can't do this. Letting go says, This is not where I belong anymore. One comes from avoidance. The other comes from clarity. You don't let go because you're tired. You let go because you finally learned what the situation was meant to teach you. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes growth whispers. Sometimes growth is a quiet knowing that says, I don't have to carry this anymore. Letting go does not mean you didn't care. It means you cared so deeply that you finally recognized your own limits. You can give love without sacrificing your peace. You can forgive without allowing continued harm. You can wish someone well and still walk away from them. You are allowed to choose yourself. People often say, you should fight for what matters. And that is true, but you should not have to fight yourself in the process. You should not have to beg to be understood, shrink to be tolerated, break yourself to be accepted. If something requires you to lose yourself to keep it, it was never meant to stay. Letting go is not abandoning someone. Letting go is ending the version of the story where you were hurting. We don't heal by holding tighter. We heal by allowing change to happen. You are not required to stay where you are breaking. You are not obligated to continue a chapter that has already ended. You are not weak for choosing peace. You are wise. You can pour your heart into something and still outgrow it. You can love someone and still need to step away. You can be grateful for a chapter and still close the book. Life is made of seasons, not because things fail, but because you change. The person you were when you arrived is not the same person you are now. Your needs are different. Your vision is different. Your soul is asking for something more. Letting go is the courage to honor that change. It is not an ending. It is a beginning. The beginning of a life lived from self-respect instead of self-sacrifice. And you will know you've made the right choice when your mind grows quiet, when your breathing becomes easy, when your heart no longer feels like it's bracing itself. That is peace returning home. How protecting your peace leads to clarity and strength. There is a certain strength that only returns to you when you stop fighting the wrong battles. When you are constantly defending yourself, explaining yourself, fixing what keeps breaking, trying to be understood by those determined not to understand you, your energy drains, slowly, quietly, without announcement. Your mind becomes loud, your emotions become heavy, your decisions become foggy. Peace is not just a feeling, it is mental space. It is the ability to hear your own thoughts again. When you protect your peace, you are not just removing stress, you are restoring clarity. And clarity is power. Clarity lets you see who is sincere and who is taking advantage what matters, and what is simply noise where your energy belongs, and where it is being wasted, who you truly are beneath everything you've been carrying. You cannot see your life clearly when your heart is constantly in defense mode. Stepping away is not just an emotional choice, it is a strategic one. When you protect your peace, you regain the ability to think long-term instead of reacting to the moment. You make decisions based on values instead of exhaustion. Your voice grows steady, your choices become intentional. Peace makes you stronger, not by making life easier, but by making you clearer. Clarity changes how you move. You stop explaining yourself where explanation is not respected. You stop proving your worth to people determined not to see it. You stop pouring into places that only take and never refill. Protecting your peace is not about isolation. It is about alignment. It means surrounding yourself with people who do not require you to abandon your boundaries to be loved. It means choosing environments that nourish you, not drain you. It means allowing silence to be your teacher, not your fear. Once your peace returns, you begin to see things as they are, not as you wished they were. Conversations become clearer. Motives become clearer. Your direction becomes clearer. You begin to trust yourself again. And when you trust yourself, you become powerful in a way that cannot be taken from you. You stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop holding on where your spirit has already walked out. You stand, not with anger, not with arrogance, with self-respect. Peace is not the result of having an easy life. Peace is the result of choosing yourself with consistency. Every time you choose peace, you rewrite your life. Every time you choose peace, you strengthen your identity. Every time you choose peace, you return to your center. And when a person has peace in their center, they become unshakable. Daily reminders to help you prioritize your mental and emotional health. You don't protect your peace once, you protect it daily. Because the world will always try to pull you back into noise, urgency, and emotional exhaustion. So you need reminders, simple ones, to keep your center steady. 1. Not every battle is yours to fight. You don't need to respond to every comment, defend yourself to every person, or fix every misunderstanding. Silence is not weakness. Silence is maturity. 2. If it costs your peace, it's too expensive. It doesn't matter who or what it is. Relationship, job, friendship, habit, expectation. If you lose yourself to keep it, you lose everything that matters. 3. You are allowed to step back. You do not have to explain why. You do not need permission. Your well-being is reason enough. 4. Feeling drained is information. Energy is honest. If your spirit feels heavy around someone or something, then believe what your body is telling you. 5. Let go of the version of yourself that survived. You are no longer that person. You don't need to think like them, react like them, or live like them. Growth requires shedding old skin. 6. You can love people and still walk away. Love does not always mean staying. Sometimes love means releasing. Sometimes love means distance. Sometimes love means, I wish you well, but I must go on. 7. Your peace is not negotiable, not for approval, not for acceptance, not for familiarity. Once you learn how peace feels, chaos no longer feels like home. 8. Choose depth over distraction. A quiet morning, a calm breath, a clear mind. These moments build your life more than any rush, drama, or urgency ever will. You do not need to transform your entire life at once. You only need to return to yourself one decision at a time. One healthy boundary, one honest conversation, one moment of silence instead of reaction, one step away from what drains you, one step toward what aligns with you. Peace is built gradually. It is built daily. It is built through the courage to choose yourself again and again. There is a deeper life waiting for you, one where your heart is not heavy, your mind is not loud, and your spirit is not tired. A life where you do not constantly brace for disappointment. A life where you breathe easier. A life where your joy is not something you have to earn. It is simply a natural state of being. That life is not found by running faster. It is found by letting go of what keeps you from it. So, there will be moments in life when staying will feel easier than leaving. When holding on will feel safer than letting go. But safety is not the same as peace. Your peace is your anchor. Without it, you drift. Your peace is your foundation. Without it, you collapse. Your peace is your clarity. Without it, you lose yourself in the noise. So do not apologize for choosing yourself. Do not explain your healing. Do not defend your boundaries. People who are meant for your life will never require you to abandon yourself to stay. They will meet you where you are, not pull you back to what you've outgrown. One day, you will look back and realize the moment your life began to change was the moment you decided your peace mattered. Not when things finally worked out, not when others understood, but when you understood that you deserved to feel whole. Walking away is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your return, to your clarity, to your strength, to your self-respect, to your life. Protect your peace. Protect your heart. Protect your becoming. Because when you honor your peace, you finally come home to yourself.